All right. Hello and welcome to Race Brain Podcast. My name is Rich Ryan. Joining me as always, Bracken Crocker and Jack Bauer. Today we are going to talk maybe briefly about some Dallas HYROX stuff. We have an OCR heavy episode. We have what's becoming annual World Championships for Spartan Race out in the UAE, Abu
One of
Dhabi.
the one of the 11 World Championships.
This was the one. Now,
Except when it wasn't, right? Like the year that they had the 3K, you're like the Beast isn't actually a World Championship.
no,
but
that wasn't the 3K was the championship that year.
okay.
That was everything they put into. VJ was our guy, and then you just watched some Sunday sprint, and you were like, "Oh, they said this is a world championship. Great,
Put a
that's what
label
we'll
on it.
call
There we go. Yeah.
So we're gonna do some drafting for that. We do have a really good field. So some athletes that you might not expect to be out there. So it's gonna be a fun draft on that end. So what do you guys want to do? Talk about HYROX real quick. We've already talked about the major in Hong Kong. If you missed that, it is available now under the Race Brain feed. Also on YouTube. Any other follow-ups that we have? Have you just been sitting, grinding, uphill hiking, thinking about the race in Hong Kong? Any takes that came because of that hike?
Well, my take is back to Dallas, actually.
Oh,
A little far away from my mic here. Let me give the people the sultry tones.
They want to hear you.
We had maybe the most important drop in that we've had yet in the sport with Nick Bear. Now, I don't want to fillet him any more than already is being done in this sport.
Come on.
But he is the biggest name we've had come in, biggest presence.
Lance Armstrong, or taking it seriously during
in terms of what it does for the sport. Lance does not move the needle.
That's fair.
Not the way Nick Bear does.
Lance seemed like more like a tourist.
A tourist.
Right? Where Nick Bear, it is really how he trains. The people that follow him are interested in, of course, being strong, looking strong, and the endurance side of things.
He's a strong runner. This seems the natural progression.
He makes products for athletes who do this style of training.
Like Rich is clearly in love with him. So
yeah,
I don't
like
want to give him too much time. But we've had this conversation before, and I've asked the question: when people bring in these influencers to run, like, what is the crossover of their circle and our circle? That Venn diagram, that overlap is very, very narrow. The overlap is almost complete with Nick. And so what he brings to the table is almost 100% transferable to the sport of HYROX. And that's why I say he's the biggest name to have done it, because he brings the most to it. Like maybe Ricky Garrard could be considered a bigger name, but does he really have the interest the way Nick does? And does he bring CrossFitters to it? I don't think so. Nick was the most important drop-in we've had. And it appears that he's not going to be just a drop-in.
Has there been anyone because OCR has done this as well, right? There has been several people who would drop in. Randy Moss, to name, Lance was there too.
Do you want to know who did 2 or 3 Spartan race weekends this fall in the UK? Do you remember Kelly Holmes, multiple-time Olympic medalist from Great Britain? She started doing it, but like
Jack's like, get excited about what I'm going to say.
With
like,
medals.
heard of this person.
In
like,
what?
No.
I think 800 and 1500.
How old is she?
Like late 40s, probably at this point. She was right around Sydney and Athens.
Okay, so I guess.
Anyway,
I mean, that's really cool, but
yeah,
doesn't change the landscape.
That ain't Nick Bear.
Not as noticeable in today's modern world. I get it.
So no, Spartan never really had the outside splash. OCR never had the outside splash.
Who would be the closest thing that? Because this is like how you described it working so well with Nick Bear is because it's basically a sport that he's been training for that he has not been involved in, right? So
synergistic.
So much synergy there. And was OCR and Spartan just so far from anything that was in the mainstream that there was not really an opportunity for anybody to come in like that? Or would it be someone like Killian or something like that?
Yeah,
but didn't they do they tried like all these random one-off things? Like I know Randy Moss did the trifecta, but didn't they try to get the Kardashians and Prince Harry and like they did a few publicity type things, but I don't think that
no synergy.
Yeah.
The only athlete that ever came in that was a legit pro athlete who stuck around a bit that I can think of was Max King. And he aligned more with Atlas race than Spartan race. But even him, like one of the issues is that there are no real big hitters in the mountain running scene. Like you don't have a lot of people with clout that could even come over like a Nick Bear could, even if they're better at their sport than he is at his fitness sport. You
If
know, like
Walmsley came over or Courtney DeWalter, it's
right,
not
but
gonna move the needle like Nick Bear would.
no, and they don't train. I mean, they would move the needle, but they don't train like this. And their followers, I don't think, want to. So they would like Courtney wouldn't even have been good at OCR, nor would Jim. At least not for a year. So no, we've never seen anything like this. And he came out and was respectable. Coming out and going 65 is like coming out and running top 10, top 15 at a Spartan Series race. Like it was respectable. Probably top 15.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like being able to be in the mix, hanging around, and just getting caught up in, or like missing the spear, missing Z wall or something stupid. It's like the equivalent.
Struggling
right?
on a double sandbag.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where this was, you know, he ran 65, did it the hard way on a course that wasn't necessarily favorable. Like really rallied in the back, I don't know, quarter of the race to keep it respectable, where he was really kind of in the pain cave there in the middle. So he experienced HYROX from that perspective.
And already stated his intent for his next one.
Yep.
And what's our number for newbies? What's the number?
65.
62, right? If you are a potential threat, you have to come out and be around 62. And then you could be like, this guy could be a 58 guy someday. And he ran 65, like you said, the hard way. Call it, if he does it right, more like 64.
Or he does it in Chicago on a more
and then he does it in Chicago, and that's right around a 62. So
63, yeah, totally.
To me, it's a legitimate drop in with clout, with synergy.
Yeah, it was really cool being there. That there were, I mentioned this a little bit on RMR training podcast, but there are like, you know, people with Go One More shirts and BPN hats, people who are just like out there to support their favorite athlete, right? Because he was an athlete this day, right? We might think of him more as a business owner, like brands, a influencer type, but he's an athlete because he comes out and throws down, right? So that was an example of some fanfare for an individual in this sport, which I don't think we've ever seen. Maybe Hunter gets some of that, but they're still participants in the sport, right? People who might not even know about HYROX could have come to that event to see Nick Bear.
Well, and that's the thing. Hunter, if he goes and does something else, isn't going to bring a crowd the way Nick brought to HYROX. And Nick's done a lot of things. He's done Leadville. He's done backyard ultras. He's done marathons. This is his best result of anything he's done, in my opinion. His marathon's very solid, but it's not 65 solid. I think that he's an influencer in every sense of the word. But in this sport, he's actually a legitimate athlete as well. Not that he's not in other venues as well, but like he's a good marathoner, especially for his size. But for him to come in and run 65, it gives more credence to the things he does online because he's out here earning it and doing it and showing like, I'm already better than a lot of people in your sport.
Bracken, you have this skill set that is unmatched from anyone else that I know to be able to project the time for a different distance off of a current distance. What is a 65 equivalent to in a marathon?
65 is probably 240, 238.
So you think it's right in line? Because he was 239.
I guess he did run 239, didn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say probably 245 with room to improve up to 240.
Well, if we could do, Jack, you got the percentage? You got your time calculator there?
Yeah,
take the world record. Take the world record.
Because I would call a 62 like a 220, 225.
Are we doing 159.40 for the world record, Kipchoge?
No, because that's not the world record.
2 flat 35, I think, roughly.
Might be 36.
Okay. Hit that percentage for that 239.
Is it 239 flat?
I guess.
All right. Regardless, 75.8.
And Rich, that means a lot. That's the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Yeah.
I recognize when I'm in the presence of greatness, I understand.
Ooh.
And then 53.11 to 65.
Yeah. Well, we've got an 81%. So this is actually.
So he is better.
Better.
He's better
by 2%.
6. I said right. 81 to 75 to 81.
75-8. So basically 76
Oh, I heard
versus 81.
78.
So 5%.
What's 5% from the 81% of the world record marathon? We're figuring this out.
Yeah. So
figuring this out.
228.
So he's a 2. Then that's good, right?
Not too many. That's like Logan Broadbent level, and he's a lot bigger than Logan.
228. You have to be a legitimate runner. Like you're not.
That could get you second place at a Midwest race.
That's true.
But so it kind of falls in line that with all his marathon training, he matched at worst or exceeded it with this debut. So he is a legitimate, respectable athlete in this field right away. And that matters. That gives credence to all the things he does online. Like you can like influencers, you may not, but usually the thing people don't like about them is they're chasing something they haven't earned. They expect treatment and respect of something they haven't done. He's done it.
He came out and ran a 75 and then came out with the training program. That's when people would have an issue with it. But this is a legitimate result, and he's got plenty of room for improvement. This is not his ceiling. So I think you're absolutely right. This is a valid first result with a lot of chance to keep growing.
So anyway, I'm not here to like really fluff him up too much because he was supposed to come on our podcast and he didn't, and then he went on someone else's.
Yeah,
and I'm real butthurt about that. So I mean, he's kind of a scumbag. Seems like a good guy from everyone I talk to, but he's really, really good for this sport. Really good at a time when the sport is growing. They receive their biggest like individual growth influx that they could receive. I don't know who you would ask to come in that could be better for the sport as a match.
So what I do like about him, right, is that he does have respect for what we got going on, respect for the athletes. He didn't come in saying he was going to break some record or do this or that. Like his audience might think that because he is impressive and they like to follow him or whatever, and like people believe in him. There's this other guy, other YouTube influencer I'm going to throw under the bus right now. His name's Elijah Orr. He made a video one time. He's like, I'm going to do Dallas to beat Nick Bear. And it's like, okay, buddy. And then he's like, I saw another video pop up where he's like, I didn't get into the pro race. I didn't buy a ticket. So now I'm going to shatter the record for open. And he ran 66:22 in open and finished 13th
with lighter weights and slower time than Nick
Which
Bear.
Still is a respectable performance. Like that's good.
Why you put out a video like that?
If you hadn't flapped your mouth first.
You're saying shattered record in your thumbnail. It's like you've never done this. 13th in open.
That's like the people remember terrain race, they had the whole shot. It's like, I won the whole shot. I beat Hobie Call. Like people were bragging about that back in the day. It's like you won the first 100 meters in a 5K race. Stop bragging about
Atlas had that.
Yeah, or Atlas, not terrain. Yeah.
So speaking of that, I saw a thumbnail as I was hiking today on the treadmill, and it said, I set a HYROX world record or broke a HYROX world record, and it showed a female who looked very fit, and it was the open record.
She did
get to call that a world record?
I don't love it.
She did it.
She did break the record, and it was a good time. Her name's Lucy Davis. She was like 59 something, right? Which is pretty good.
But it's not a world record.
It is the open world record. Some people think that open is a different race.
She ran the open world best.
Okay. Look,
not a world record. Unless it's recognized as a world record.
I have the continental record, 35 to 39 record. Okay.
Legit.
So I'm with this. I think everybody should have a record at some point. Or at least
all right. What's bigger, the number of world records within HYROX or the number of world championships within OCR? Like these are getting out of control.
Push.
Yeah.
It probably is a push. I mean, there's OCR.
Is there one for every age group?
For the world champion?
Probably.
Then
without question, it's going to be
HYROX. Is there a record for every age group in the open and doubles and teams?
Spartan has age group world championship also. Like
it's a push.
Yeah.
These records aren't recognized by HYROX. I don't believe. I don't think they're out here being like, oh, you said
they don't have a summary page.
Yeah. No, but they have like an all times ranking page, and you could sort it. So like Rock's Life likes to look at these things, right, and see what happened at a weekend event and if there's anything notable, right? So it's like the media is recognizing this. HYROX is not telling people they're like world record holder, the continental
Yeah.
record holder. They should.
This is
I think
what I
it's-
equate it to. Someone set the park run world record in the last month.
Park run.
Park run is a 5K, essentially cross country course, or it can be there can be paths in a park. It's you show up. It's essentially free. It's tracked. There's an online database for it, but
Any
it's like
park?
a fun run.
A lot of them in Europe.
It's
and-
mostly UK. That is where it started, and now there's a few here as well. But it's just officially a thing. It's park run. It's a 5K on a Saturday morning. Park run. The
Any park.
park run world record just got set.
How fast? 13?
Like four is like 13:55 to 14:05, somewhere in there.
Very good. Yeah,
Very
that shouldn't
fast.
count as- that
Not a
shouldn't
world
count
record.
But that's
as-
still-
that shouldn't count as a world record.
That's the
That's-
equivalent to setting an open division world record.
Is
think
it
that's
like
fair.
setting a deck of strong at your local gym?
It's the fastest anyone's ever done your thing
Yeah.
at, but that doesn't make it a world record.
Is it different than an FKT?
That's a good.
I'd say it's the
comparison.
same.
Yeah.
Same. Okay.
Same.
Someone make a YouTube video about an FKT. You'd watch.
I wouldn't say I set the world record.
I like.
It's-
I
Or
have
will
the,
I?
the fastest time at the open distance or the open weights.
It's all
but
FKT.
it's not a
Fastest
world
known
record.
time open.
Yeah.
Fastest known. Yep, she set the FKT.
She's an FKT holder.
It's a good to click. You took notice.
I didn't
said-
click on principle because I know the world record holder and I know the previous one. And they've both been on here,
It
and
ain't
neither
her.
of them are her.
That's true. That is true.
Out of respect to Meg and Lauren, I did not click.
Let's talk about the women real quick.
No,
On
no, no, no. Let's finish the guy. Rich, you were there.
I was there. All right. Dudes times Dylan Scott took the win 58-13. I was second 58-19. My man Hayden Warner 62-14 taking third overall. Josh Ward 63 and change, and then Jack Driscoll, another notable name, 64-28. Wait, was Nick my man's Nick? Was he above the Riker line?
I think. Well, Riker DNF'd. So yeah.
All you gotta do is get to the
Yeah,
lunges.
Yeah.
and
Just
you're-
finish.
That's it now.
Yeah.
You have to complete the
Just
lunges.
finish. Get 7 out of 8 stations. Yeah.
Well,
I think
Riker's
Nick was
65.
like 64 to 65, very close to that range. I'll look
Is
it
the
up.
Riker line changing? Is it the Nick Bear line now?
If you're in the sport, you now have to beat Nick Bear for any sort of respect.
Mhm.
All right.
People were. I'm sure there are people.
So
Racing
I'm
the
below
shit out
that.
of him.
I'm below the Matt Choi line.
6502.
It's a different, completely different line.
Yeah, 6502 for Riker.
And Nick Bear was 65-42. Okay.
Mhm. So comparable.
Yeah, it was a fun
Not
race.
comparable. It doesn't matter if you missed the Riker line by an inch or a mile. Losing's losing.
It's binary. It happened or didn't.
1-0.
The course was very crowded. I think this have you put these courses in Jack's butt?
Not yet. I was doing Spartan prep, Spartan Worlds. Oh well.
I'm guessing
I
this
got to
was
do
about.
something over Thanksgiving.
I mean, I don't know in terms of Jack's butt, but I think it was. I would say it ran about 2 minutes slower than Chicago, just based off of subjectively understanding how people ran
You
one
were at
week and then
both.
versus another.
Yeah.
I was at both. I ran 4 minutes slower, but I think the course was 2 minutes slower. Right. Dylan just kicked my butt on literally everything, and I knew he got ahead of me on the ski and the run in and out of the ski. I was like, I wonder if I could close this just on wall balls. And I did not realize that he was lengthening from me literally every run. So it wasn't just that little gap that he put on me on ski. It was all of the stations and all of the runs. So
He was like low to mid 330s for
he was running. He
all
was
the right. He was moving.
he was going after it. He hit it hard. He hit it hard early and just got himself into a very uncomfortable position pretty
Mhm.
early. So and then by the wall balls, he was hanging on for dear life.
You
And
going
I was
broken?
not. Oh, what's that?
You gone broken?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's like the main thing that came away from it. I'm just like, hey, I just did it
Heck yeah.
unbroken. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter how much effort I put into the rest of the race.
Yeah.
With
That's a short list on the men's side. Like,
Yeah.
Real. I know Graham Halliday. He did that this past race, I believe.
Graham's
Alex
done
has
it.
done it.
Alex Bo has done it.
Yep.
Joffrey, he can do it.
Yeah.
So it is expanding. It is expanding.
But it's not like in the women's field where you kind of just expect it with a lot of them at this
Right.
point.
Where the
So-
top 5 are all like basically doing it unbroken.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
I've been sitting here ignoring all you gentlemen,
Sure have.
scrolling through my phone trying to find this comment.
okay.
I need your feedback as someone there. This
Okay.
is on HYROX America's post about the race.
Okay.
These guys were extremely disrespectful and physically aggressive to the women athletes on the track. I think female would probably be better, but pro men should not be on the course at the same time. Being in this race, is there some validity to this? That men in this, it is talking about the pro race because it says the pro race is underway.
Mhm.
Were some people extremely disrespectful and or physically aggressive to the female athletes out there? What happened out there?
I would imagine that some people were, because it is a competitive environment. I didn't see anything, but I bet some people just got bumped. There are people running on the inside and around a corner or something. People kind of, take the tangents, even if they are floating outside a little bit, and like these gaps close pretty fast out there. I would imagine some people definitely got bumped and got yelled at. I was trying to yell left whenever I could in those circumstances. It's loud. I'm tired.
Plus, no one knows what that means.
People
No one
don't
knows what
know if
that
that means, do I go left or do you go left? Like,
unless you're like a
A
track
runner.
athlete, right?
Oh, was this a thing out there? Did you hear this, see this? There was controversy there, or is this just someone saw something or it happened to their
It was probably
friend,
someone's
or-
friend got bumped.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was definitely crowded, and the way that it's sequenced is there were women's doubles teams
Mhm.
on the course as men's pro were starting, right? So the men's pro start very aggressively, so that just by the nature of it. So there were people who was probably their first time doing women's doubles, and then all of a sudden, like, these lunatics are sprinting past them
Mhm.
because there's no room. Because there was no room. It felt way more crowded. There were more people than in Chicago. The venue was big; it could handle it, but I'm sure there's some validity to it,
Okay.
but nothing that I saw.
In Chicago, every single athlete that I saw who was clearly in a slower division just completely disregarded the fast lane. I think that they need a, they have the taped off section, might be 3-4 feet wide, basically the width of a track lane. And the number of times that I had to pass on the inside, then the outside, then in between people in the middle, people just don't, respect the fast lane line. So that's probably what occurred to her.
And when you think about it, though, because the fast lane, slow lane, whatever, you could be in women's doubles and winning
Mhm.
the entire race and be like, I'm passing all of my competitors. I'm in the fast lane, and then men's pro starts.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, you don't even know that they're coming. It comes so fast. You're not like thinking, oh, my race is here. Men's pro is 20 minutes behind me. They're going to be on the course at the same time. I better be in the slow lane. Like, you don't know where you
Yeah.
are. So it's just like, it's hard to really figure out how to solve that issue.
Well, there's
And,
two fixes. The first is the outside lane becomes the fast lane, and you adjust that distance on transitions. That would take too much planning, and they're not going to do that.
People in the fast heat would be like, all right, I'm running on the inside then.
But
So
it'd be easier to track. It could be
Okay.
very clear. Like you just are not allowed to do it.
different timing mats or something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Anyway, but that won't happen, right? They won't do that because that would be too much planning on. You'd have to adjust
Maybe eventually.
eventually. It could be as simple as you take a different route to wall balls at the end.
Sure.
Open
Yeah.
people have to run this way, and you get to cut straight across to it or whatever. It could be easily done.
The people stop earlier at the wall balls, like in the front of the rig or something. I
Correct.
guess that wouldn't really matter. Whatever.
Something. It's
Two different
simple,
start lines,
but
huh?
it would cause more planning.
Yes.
The second is that you have to stagger the heats so that you're not coming up on the fastest people and the slowest.
Yes. Right.
And that's a little easier to do.
But with how long these events already are,
Mhm.
it's hard. Yeah, I guess they could flip the open. I actually don't know, because they don't want to change the weights, right? Like, so
What I
they
have
would-
found on
That's
course,
the thing. Yeah.
not that I've been out there as much as you guys, but doubles runs into a lot of traffic, is that the more competitive the athletes are on the course, the more aware they are of the other people coming up behind them.
Hmm.
That the people we see out there, we're like, I know who that person is. And I know they're like an age group monster. They have their head on a swivel and they're getting out of the way or they're staying out. They cut in and they check over their shoulder. So if you just had competitive groups near competitive groups, I think that solves half of it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're running 7-minute mile or 6-minute mile. If you're a competitive athlete who's done several of these, you have the awareness to know, like, okay, I hear the fast people going off. They're saying someone's fast name on the mic. I might as well look over my shoulder a few times just to be aware.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how this could work. They could even, like, if they put the open women first and then open doubles first instead of the open men, and then just slide everybody backwards, and then just stagger the men and the women, the pro women and the pro men.
Same
right?
weight.
Well, it'll be a different weight. They would have to add weight after the women go through, but then that could start the pro waves. And
Okay.
at least
Yeah,
it would
yeah,
be, at least it'd be singles, women doing the pro division who would be more competitive, and it will just be like less people out there. Because when it's the doubles, it's two people running next to each other.
That's
And
the
especially when
problem.
it's open
And then when you have
doubles,
2 or 3 teams near each other, sometimes they're 6 wide, and it's like, this is just
there
no
was a
running
lot.
etiquette there.
There
Yeah.
was lots of bottlenecks, especially when
Corners, they're
and
bad.
look at the corners are bad. And the way that this rock zone worked is that it was kind of in the middle of a lap. So if the people were abiding by the rules of being in the slow lane, they had to cut across the fast lane to get into the rock zone, right? So so bottleneck there as well, and then coming out is the same thing. So yeah, maybe there's some work that can be done, and I'm sure they have reasons why they do it. I mean, they do a lot of these, so I'm sure they have their reasons, and they're willing to deal with the consequences of some people getting bumped or being yelled at. But yeah, I don't think it's any fault of anyone who's actually on the course.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to move around.
Except Kent. I could see Kent.
Kent's out there being a jerk off.
If it was a kid, absolutely.
Being just bumping him out of the way.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's recap the women.
Women, we had Amy Bevilacqua at the top. Her time was a little bit slower than her Toronto time. Actually, I think quite a bit. Yeah, so she was 63.35. I think she was 61 and change in Toronto. Maria Fetchik, I looked at Maria's time because she ran both Chicago and Dallas. So I saw her time in Dallas and I compared it to Chicago just to see how this course was running. And she ran like 64.06 in Dallas, and in Chicago she ran like 64.05.
Wow,
I was like, all right.
She would have destroyed Chicago if
I know
she had this. Wow,
she had a better effort. She had a better effort
Yeah.
here, and got a 64 out of it, which is just kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Amy was 61.09 in Toronto, by the way.
Right.
So a couple minutes slower.
Then we had Meg Martin, who was part of a doubles team, co-ed doubles, the world champion last year. Her and her partner did individuals this year, so she ran 65. Carolyn Watkins in 67.39, and the homie Hannah Taylor in 68.27. So yeah, this was it was just a grind out there, and you could tell just based off these times that it was just like a hard course with some bottlenecks, less efficient than what Chicago was, a little more warm, so sleds weren't moving as well. But I'm excited to see Amy Bevilacqua race in these Elite 15 races. Like, is she just on the outside, or she's in now because of that 61 in Toronto, right? But that Toronto one wouldn't have counted for Amsterdam, and Hong Kong's just insane to go to. So she really hasn't had the opportunity, right? I bet she would already be qualified if she's
number 10 on the majors. Yep.
And she's made for major racing. She's just gonna gobble people up. Every single person who misjudges the first 3 stations, she will beat.
Yes,
she's 1 second behind Ida in the seeds. So
that's crazy.
I think if she races Hong Kong, she qualifies. I think she's in that mix.
But you think she would have been third, or I guess top 5 is what she would have needed at that point.
Yes, it would have been
Lauren Griffith or her.
Lauren Griffith. Yeah, like she was a position behind Lauren Griffith when Lauren qualified last year. And Amy has been improving by leaps and bounds. Yeah. So I think it was fair to say, because, Lauren Griffith ran that gutty race and was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
But the rest of the field really wasn't there. So it's just, again, the opportunities are hard to come by. So I'm excited to see what she can do in Vegas. I think that she'll qualify there because, she's kind of running on her own out here.
Yep.
Any other thoughts?
I
the
guess this
ladies?
this OCR heavy episode is a half an hour in on hybrid only, but
Hybrid on. Hey, we're
that's what
hot out here,
happens.
man. Big event. We had the
It is.
greatest drop in of all time.
North American record?
For what?
Attendance record?
North American attendance record.
Yeah, another record.
Yeah, it was great. I was out there just making fun of Cowboy fans. I was like, yeah, Dallas sucks,
Fantastic.
bro.
They're down right now.
And they
Saquon
beat the
Barkley this
Commanders.
weekend.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saquon's the man. Come
Yeah.
on. Go Birds. All right, let's talk about some OCR. We are going to draft. I'm going to pull up the wheel of names. Jack, you're going to pull up your side of things. I will
Yep.
do my side of things. And we will make
Just
this happen.
Before we go into that, would you have realized that Spartan Race World Championship was this weekend if it wasn't mentioned? There's no hype.
Nope. Have they done no? Are we going to be able to see it?
A little, hopefully.
This is
Not promising.
I'm wearing Spartan gear. I'm going to be positive.
Good for you.
I'm really
too.
excited for this. I believe they will show footage of this. It's going to be really good. And I bet since we have checked out on them a little bit, they're drumming this up everywhere we're not looking.
Yeah, you're right. I think that you're right on this, BK.
Thank you.
That's a good spin. Good spin. But yes, in years past, the World Championships has been something that they would kind of build and lead into. This year, I don't know if it is just the social media that they're doing. Is Spartan Race social media still based around the athletes, and is Spartan something different?
Race is the athletes.
Do they still do that?
Regular is just, influencers, brand, Joe walking with the kettlebell, that kind of stuff.
Right. That's still the case.
Yeah, I'm looking at Spartan Race, and they are showing, highlights of this past weekend, and they had a clip of VJ winning last year just to bring it back. So yeah, they are mentioning it, but it doesn't really seem. I don't know. There's no buzz compared to previous years, which is a shame because we've had some good obstacle athletes turn up this year.
Oh, I'm not even following Spartan Race. How'd that happen? I'll give it a follow and see if I start to see this stuff.
I love that you supported the Spartan protests so strong that you unfollowed them and never came back.
You guys are just you're making sense out here. BK's banging on the drum. You're like, everybody, let's protest. I was like, BK says protest. I'm protest.
There.
Yeah.
Philly does not need an excuse to riot.
And if we're gonna hate, we're gonna hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, last year's coverage was actually pretty good out there. Actually, the past couple of years, the Super where we had Sergey and Atkins going head to head, that was a fantastic coverage that year as well. So I do think that hopefully they have a live stream, and if not, we'll catch it eventually. But I do think coverage tends to do pretty well over there for World Champs.
We need to get that Athlinks. If they're not going to hit us with that coverage, at least get back on Athlinks.
We don't do Athlinks. We do My Race Result live.
Do they have that? Will we have that at least?
Yeah.
When is this race?
It's always at sunset. So I'm guessing it's 4 a.m. again here.
What?
I'm not gonna be able to sleep the night before.
Yeah. Aren't you getting up early for Black Friday anyway? Yeah.
It'll be Friday?
I think it is. That's exactly. We'll figure this out.
They will race Friday.
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it plus 11 from you guys?
Plus 11.
It's about that.
Correct.
About that, right?
All right. I'm just trying to find the schedule.
What's the distance? Fill me in on what's going on. Is it a beast?
It's a beast.
Okay.
Yes.
We've not decided the beast champion yet this year.
All right.
We decided the sprint champion. Do we have a super championship or no?
Not this year.
Next year?
Only a sprint.
I think there's one next year.
Mammoth. Yeah, Mammoth.
Nice.
Have it all. Okay, so
Who was the last super champion crowned in North America?
In North America, brain teaser. Jack.
Was it Bracken?
Oh my God! What's that?
Boom! This guy right
I was
here.
totally unprepared for this.
Yeah.
It was you? You're a super world champion? You don't tout that?
United States super champion.
Oh, it was United States based one? That's pretty good.
I had to really finagle it to bring it back to me, but I got it done.
We got to make sure when we're doing the season-ending all-time rankings that we remember this.
I don't think we
Oh, yeah.
talked about my sprint runner-up or my super championship when we decided I was 17th.
Well, now it will be in the conversation, and we're going up. We're moving up.
Yep. Hey,
We ready?
Take a look at this. I just posted it in the private chat right here. Just click on that second link, and that is the race program. You're going to see something on page 3 that's like, what? So
1, 2,
Making us
3.
do things right now.
3K relay world championship. Is that what it is?
yeah, so
That's
they're
been a
having
thing,
a
right?
beast, but also a 3K relay. So 3 by 1,000 meters. So they're sort of doing the 3K
They've done
style
something
again.
like that before.
They're setting up the 3K course,
That's what I'm confused.
or
by
is it
this
going to
because
be?
1K.
I think
Well, that
it's
would be
like
a
1K.
3K course.
person A goes
3K
1,000,
course was.
then 1,000 to
Is it going to be
2,000.
loops
Then
like that? Like, is it like the
they've done that in the past.
storied 3K? It's going to be
Yeah.
the Spartan Cross.
Basically, yeah. Or last year's World Championship format. So that's interesting that they're having the regular beast, and then the next day it says on Sunday the 1st. Okay, so right here, 21K beast will be on Saturday, November 30th. So Saturday UAE time.
All right, so
And
Interesting.
yeah, and
Saturday morning?
the schedule of events for the beast. So check your local calendar, but the championship race, Beast World Championship, is at 7:30 a.m. local time, which means it might be at night for us. Could be watching this.
it's in the morning.
That'll be 8:30 p.m. for you guys.
7:30. Yeah.
Which
Right.
day? On Friday?
9:30 for me.
Friday us, Saturday morning UAE time.
Put it on the big screen. Make it up
I'm
on the
in.
TV.
Yeah.
We can do
I'm-
this.
And then the 3K, once again, the next day, World Championship. No, awards is at night. So at 8 a.m. So basically in the morning, local time. Interesting.
Love it.
So a thought that I just had is that now this is the 4th year. We had the beast year that Atkins won. We had the super year that Sergey won.
Atkins didn't win the first year.
Who did?
No, he did win the beast. You're right. Okay.
Yeah, it was him and
my
Albin,
mistake,
right?
my mistake.
And then
Yeah.
it was the second
Him
year
and
was
Sergey.
Sergey. And then the third year was VJ.
3K.
So this is now
DJ and Lindsay. Yeah.
Now we're back. Okay, so the 4th year, we're back to the beast. What I kind of do like about this now is that we get some context for what is impressive and what we can like look for in this style of race. We can assume that it's going to be mostly all sand. If it's the beast distance, where we'll assume that there's some big ascents up some dunes. And so we've been able to see this a couple times now. So now there is some context for what is actually impressive, and we'll have a little bit of historical reference for when this race is actually completed. So I do like that there is some continuity between the years here, and that we're kind of going back to something that we have seen because that, strangely enough, we want to be able to understand what the context is in sport, which we have not
What
been
does
able
it all
to do.
mean?
We haven't been able to do that in OCR for like 24 months. So nice.
But we're here and we got the matchup we've been pining for.
That's true. That's true.
Basilico Call. And thank God Call's going. If Hawk and Angel weren't there, this would essentially at the pro level just be the European Championship.
Yeah.
I think you have. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to mention something on Hawk Call, but finish your point.
Oh, we have one or two other U.S. men there, but in terms of people that are favorites to go top 10,
Yeah,
there are two people.
it's like Nicole from the women's side and Hawk from the men's side. That's kind of who's there. Yeah. So we've got Operation Beat Basilico going on for Hawk. So I've got over the past couple of weeks, I had VJ, Gaudet, other people who raced over there, myself, just everyone's giving them info on gators, all this stuff on how to take down Gregory Basilico. So I think we're gonna get the matchup we wanted, and it's gonna be fantastic.
How much she legit?
They might
Can you
find some
bring it
in
into
the
the
sand
country?
dunes.
Yeah, that's a good point. That stuff might
Yeah.
not be legalized. Yeah, and if Basilica learns about that,
Yep.
lights out.
Come on, you don't become a world champion without already knowing about it. Like he already knows.
He's been on that.
This
we
is
ready to spin?
almost the dream matchup.
Mm.
If this wasn't on sand, this would be the dream matchup. But we'll take what we can get. This is such a long time coming. Having the two fastest runners in OCR. I don't think that's even arguably just the two best OCR runners match up against each other. So exciting.
Yes, it does feel like matchups of old, like the Beast 4 years ago, where it is like, okay, this the best from this region versus the best from that region. The depth isn't there, right? Where in the past it's like, okay, there could be 3 of the best from this region versus 3 of the best from this region. What's going to happen? Now it is just going to be, and it could be over in like the first kilometer, if the sand is a major issue.
Yeah.
So
We've seen blow ups. We'll see.
we sure have. Ready to spin?
Let's go. The last one of the year.
It will not be over in the first K.
I'm just saying. Let's spin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
Come on.
rich.
Hit me with that. Boom. All right, I'm taking that numero uno. All right, what's going next?
If it's getting sweaty, mine are.
Never. I have
Never?
high performance Spartan gear on.
All right.
Bumbaruski.
All right, Jack gets a second, or Jack gets to choose where he wants to pick second. Where are you picking,
Yep.
Jack?
Let me get that 2.
Two.
Give me the
BK gets
turn.
Turn. All right, that's what he wanted. That's what he gets. So we
right.
are going to draft snake style. We are going to do 3 men, 3 women, 1 wild card. It is cross country style scoring. Lowest point total wins. We will then, if there's 7, are we going to do 5? We're going to score 5.
3 men, 3 women, and 1 wild,
And a wild
card.
card.
Of either
So we will
gender.
score 5. The lowest total of those 5 finishers will be the winner. 2 results, because it is dual meet style. So it's me versus Bracken, me versus Jack, Jack versus Bracken, Jack versus me. We get a bunch of different results that come out of it. How are we doing on the season?
How are we doing on the
Doesn't
season?
really matter. Let's
Rich, this is you clinched it. Doesn't matter what happens here.
I don't think I've won. I think now for the big series, I think it's 1-1-1. Right? This is the 3rd year we've been doing this.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
We're knotted up.
Bracken and Kirk the first year.
Oh man, so
Then
Bracken,
me.
you got to eat that pizza too. We're still waiting. Now
Well,
we
we
can
should all
eat the
just meet up for
together.
pizza. Yeah,
Just hang out and have a pizza party.
yeah. Let's just do that. Be way
A
better.
little pizza party. I bet
Pizza
they got
and a sleepover. I'm in.
Yeah.
There's a Coca-Cola. I
Sounds
bet
fun.
I bet they got some serious pizza party establishments in Wisconsin.
For sure.
I don't know what that means.
You've never been
A
a pizza
party establishment?
Do you know
Yeah,
how much
but like-
cheese you guys have? Like, there's no way you don't have.
I mean,
lot of
what's a pizza
parties.
party establishment?
Like a place where
Like
you can have pizza
has a game
parties.
room and stuff?
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese.
You haven't been to a pizza party?
We can provide that.
I thought you would.
I was picturing us in our jammies playing Mario Kart
We can
with
Yeah,
the pizza
what-
boxes on
I'm
the floor.
down for that.
You're just making this sound better and better.
BK, do you have like the new Mario Kart? You got like the Switch situation or whatever their kids are playing?
No, we have Double Dash, and then we've got a few of the like, what is it, Mario Kart 8 or whatever it is. I don't even know what they're on.
You're
Switch
doing
situation.
You're doing real racing. You're like Braden's not trying to race these.
Braden
virtual
is
world.
Mario.
He's out
He-
there.
He loves the racing video games.
Yeah. What's his Mario Kart comp? What character?
Oh, I would probably say Toad.
Toadstool's the man.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. All right.
All right. Right before we
I'm up.
start this, I'm just going to give you guys a little background on. You can see the names here. Tune in on YouTube. We've got the whole list. But in terms of athletes who have a previous national series podium, we've got 23 men and 17 women. Regional championship podium, we've got 9 men and 6 women. Trifecta Worlds podium, we have 5 each gender. Previous World Championship top 10, we've got 12 men and 7 women, and a previous World Championship podium, 2 men and 5 women. So we're missing Ryan and Lindsay, who have been staples on the for podium since 2014. This is the first time since Killington 2014 that neither of them will be at a Spartan Race World Championship, but we still have a lot of talent, is what this is showing.
What that means is we got too many world championships. I'm like, wait, what? How's that? There's an interesting name on here. All right, I'm going.
Yeah, there is. And I said she was a Spartan athlete last episode, and you guys are like, she's never done one, and she's at the world champs.
What?
I spoke it into existence.
Are we talking about the same person? I'm not
I'm
sure.
talking about Viola Oberlander.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too.
Yeah.
She's done Spartan.
She's done this race before.
Well, then I don't know why that I'm getting flack for saying she was a Spartan racer.
Run
No,
the
you were
tape.
saying
I don't remember the
Joanna,
flag.
not Viola.
I don't call it. No, I'd never said that about Joanna.
Roll the tape.
All
tape.
right, with the number one pick, this doesn't matter. I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna be doing BK style, just throwing it, double guns, just because I already won this thing. Just kidding. I'm taking Nicole Miracle.
Yeah.
She's been cleaning up. Got to be one of the front runners here for the OCR Athlete of the Year. We're talking about Okras. Had a bit of a bumpy middle of the season. I mean, really just FISO, but she has been doing work on these courses against this competition for the past 2 months, 3 months. She has been hands down the best athlete in the world. So she raced on sand.
She did a Lula.
She did a Lula. Nice. She's never done this venue or this.
So you're going to be very surprised. This is Nicole's first world championship since she won Tahoe in 2019. If we're talking the beast distance, she obviously won Hvar in Croatia earlier, but very surprising.
Yeah. Because she got injured on sand.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So her, I guess.
Oh,
storylines.
Uh-oh.
So we're just bringing it all around. So now I feel good that she ran in Alula and did so well.
Yeah.
And that she's just like kicking butt.
Different type of sand for the most part, but she did it.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole was very dominant in her regional championship win in Seattle. She won Var World Championship, and she swept all 3 races at Trifecta Worlds in Greece. Not even a question.
BK's like a sand guy. He knows the nuance of sand.
You seen Starsky and Hutch, where Snoop Dogg's the caddy, and he just really knows grass? That's me with sand.
Oh yeah, great sand guy, wall to wall sand.
Big sand guy. Listen, if you ran this into a simulator 1,000 times for men's and women's, and you could just keep plugging in different styles of OCR, Nicole wins like 99% of them probably. It just the men's side, I think you could get a bunch of different results. It's not going to happen here. Could she lose? Yes. Is she the prohibitive favorite outright? Yes.
Also, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We need Rocks opt. They'll get us those betting odds.
He ain't doing this for OCR. All right, Jack, you up.
Okay. So got to take the man who won this, or actually got second place last year at the Abu Dhabi World Championship after missing that spear throw right at the end. But Gregory Basilico, I'm sorry, Hawk. I believe in you. I hope you win. But Gregory's
I thought Pavel got second.
In the beast, I'm talking.
Oh, you said world championship, though.
Fair enough. By title only. All right.
That was so well played, Rich.
Like
yeah.
that?
No, that was
gotcha.
That was annoyingly good.
I can't. I'm shocked by this pick, Jack.
Are you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but so Basilico, he ended up getting second in the sprint at Trifecta Worlds and then first in the Super and the Beast. He won the Beast in Austria for European Championship. He got second place, was leading it until the final 100 meters or so. Last year, he got fourth in 2021 for Spartan Race World Championship. He knows how to run in this terrain, and all we've seen him do is dominate. I've just got a lot of confidence in him taking home the W.
I think it's the right pick. I think it's the right pick.
Yeah,
for sure. I was just surprised. That's all.
Yeah. But unlike Jack, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm more worldly than I am. I am US centric.
Yeah.
America.
And I am going to take Hawk call. Now you guys made my job really easy here for the first one. Hawk's the pick. I am so excited he's going over there. And I'm so excited he didn't take us up on our offer like a year ago to fund it, help fund it, because now he's just going and we didn't have to do anything about it.
Nice.
I really like that. But my next pick is one that gives me a little bit of consternation, Jack, because it is really hard not to pick Susanna. But I'm going with the woman that I'm surprised is even not in white font on this list, Elisa Petrova.
Bianca?
She's done it. She's proved it.
Yeah.
She could win the whole thing.
It's like home course, essentially. She's done it
Yeah.
every year that it's been here. She's been on the podium every
Pretty
year.
much,
Or did she get the first year? Did she end up in front of?
I thought she passed.
Annie
Emma.
was second. Yeah, Emma. Did she may have passed Emma because Emma had to do a penalty?
Yeah.
very
So
end.
if we're looking at Elisa in 2021, she was actually third place. 2022 for the super year, she was third place. And last year in the 3K, she was second.
Yeah, so she's been on the podium every year.
Podium
and
locking.
she won. And she won a Lula.
To get these people third and
And lives in
fourth.
the UAE.
I'm living on a prayer right now to try to finish the season strong. And this is a good way to start that out.
It's good. Yeah, really nice. Good work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Didn't
No, so Bracken, I took the 2 pick thinking that you were going to go Zuzana because I really wanted Elisa on my team. So I agree with that.
BK's
But
playing
now you
chess.
get to take Sergey.
Hold on.
Or do you?
Who are you
All
gonna
right.
take?
Well, we just kind of glossed over Hawk Call right there. I mean, he's run 2 races this year, Big Bear Super and Utah Beast, and he was so stupid dominant in those. It's just, can he run in sand and does he have his gaiters? So
Yeah. And even though we proved with, I believe that was Bauer's objective obstacle based system, not Jack's, but I think that was more of the Boob approach. We proved historically that he was great, but he also hasn't raced anyone world class. KBB could be considered that.
Yeah.
But is he training for anything remotely near to this? So we just finally get to see him against someone that's able to give it to him and match his surges and will match his surges in races in surging style. It's everything we want to see, and we're going to get to see it. Things don't always live up to the hype. These two against each other, they're going to battle.
Yeah, and like the sand, of course, and the stage, even though the stage might be a little bit smaller in Spartan this year than it has been in years past. But have we seen Hawk in a world championship? We have not, right?
no, we have not.
So
Hawk's biggest race is that he's done. He's done 1 regional championship, and that was in Kelowna, and he ended up getting second place behind Ryland there. A few minutes back.
The moment he's raced big races, he raced D1 cross country. He's done Cirque Series. He's done big races. The moment isn't an issue for him. What we don't know yet about him is how much of Hobie does he have in him?
I think a lot.
Has he, in terms of preparation? Hobie was meticulous about being ready for the course. Is he ready for this course? Or is he like, I'm just me and I'm going to train how I train. Right. And I'm going to show up and do my thing. On a course like this, that's this long in the sand, that is a differentiator. That's the difference between being able to attack in the second half and not. And we're going to find out how much has he decided to go in on this event. Or is this a last minute decision? Like, I'm just going to go do it.
Yeah, sorry. Hawk told me that he has been practicing his double sandbag. He's running the sand. And let's not forget, he's done really well at hot Utah races. So I think he's going to be able to handle the heat very well.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but it is like his home course.
I get it, but still, heat
doesn't matter. Where he's training in Utah in July. Now he's training in Utah in November.
Yeah,
right.
So I'll pose one final question, questioning my own pick here. Have we seen him where it's not in his wheelhouse? Have we seen him not at altitude and not in the mountains?
Blue Mountain in Canada and Palmerton, but those were. You had a 3K for Palmerton, so not really. San Luis Obispo, he got 4th in a flat running course, but that was kind of like his
Nick Mask, baby.
Yeah,
ran into a buzzsaw.
So he's taken away his 2 greatest strengths, which is high altitude mountain running.
Yeah,
maybe not high altitude, but altitude mountain running, and replacing it with sand, and we just don't know. And I don't know how he travels overseas. So I
There's
believe
a lot
he
of
can win
unknowns.
this
Never.
race.
There's a lot of unknowns.
But he has the most unknowns, I think, of any of the favorites.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Very like that's the thing. Like he could absolutely win this race, but he could also get like
Sixth
14th.
or 14th. Yeah, sure.
You know, like it could go real poorly here. Like seriously.
When you
Yeah.
crack in the desert, life ceases to
Do you know
work
something about that, Brian?
in any way, shape, or form.
It's
It just
mirage.
goes really south.
Just mirages.
So on the map, it
Yeah,
says
or an oasis.
20.1 kilometers. So if it turned out to be like a 30K, like they would have done to you back in the day, might
Well,
be
and you
bad.
can't go downhill. It's not like Tahoe where if you crack at the top of the mountain, I can at least run 6-minute pace downhill. That's not a thing here. Even the flats you have to earn because of the sand. So it's just a bad place to get it a little wrong.
Is Hawk better at ascending or descending in terms of like a weapon that
He's so good at both of them. But
No.
his uphill, I feel, is similar to how would always see Face Stenning like at the front, no matter where Killian on the opening climb. Like he's never going to get gapped on a climb, but he is a really good descender.
But it's not like his main weapon, right? Because that could be like
Just running is his weapon.
He might be one of the rare people who is even up and
Yeah.
downhill.
Not too many, like Atkins, maybe.
I think he would claim his
Lindsay.
downhill's better, but his
Mhm.
uphill is like
That's what I'm saying.
strong,
Like,
so good.
yeah. Good pick.
No, Atkins is certainly better downhill than uphill.
Yep. All right. Moving on. I've got to go Zuzana. I mean,
All
she's
right.
won multiple world championships. Thank you, Bracken. Let me type her in there. Zuzana Kotsamova. She was in quite a battle with Nicole at the in Hvar at the short course world championship, getting second place. They both got out of the water and on the rig at the same time. I know that Nicole did have a spear throw miss, and there's a reason Nicole was the #1 pick overall. But Zuzana's a 2-time world champion and only missed the podium a couple times in her entire 50-plus Spartan race career. One of those being at the European Championship in 2023, and the other one being at a 3K where she won the 2 qualifying rounds and then had to slip up in the finals. So she's a lock for the podium. She's raced in the Middle East before. Yes, she's 45 years old. That's definitely a concern, but we've seen some athletes still do well in their early to mid 40s, and Zuzana has a track record in OCR that it would be foolish not to take her.
I believe she'll be the oldest podium finisher ever at a Spartan World Championships if she manages it. I don't think we've gone past 42. 41?
Jeremy Gachet. He
How
had
old's
to.
42? He's over 45.
42, right?
Like right now, he's like 40. He's about 45 right now, and that was a couple
He's
years
43.
ago.
I think he was 42.
I thought that was the
Miriam Guillauboisset.
That was a super year.
She was up
Miriam
there.
didn't make a podium
Yes, she did.
in her 40s.
Oh, she might have been 39 at that point. Yeah,
Come on, man.
You're
You
right.
got to come correct with facts on this show.
You don't even know how old she was.
39 is not that old.
Yeah.
Has she done a sand?
Yeah. Zuzana, she has raced. She has not done Spartan Race World Championship in Abu Dhabi. But if I look up her stats in the Middle East, so she is actually 2018. She won the Hatta. Bracken, were you there? 2018?
Probably 17.
17. Okay, she won the super and the sprint, both of those races. So she has raced in the sand before.
Now, to be fair, Hatta is very much not
That's
a sand
rocky,
running course.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we were in the sand for maybe 3 out of 30K, and we never hit dunes. It's very much a dry mountain course.
That's fair. But we saw Zuzana do really well in Croatia, and I'm still convinced she's the second. I probably would have taken Elisa. So she's at worst a podium favorite to make world championships.
You can never argue. You put her on any OCR course.
Yeah.
She's a smart choice.
All right.
All right.
I'm torn here for both of my picks for similar reasons. It's hard with this now because I can only really go off of the most recent result, I feel like. And I just don't know how anyone is actually doing or how people are really organizing their season or whatever it is. But on the women's side, I'm taking Elricky here.
Yeah.
We have reached the point of the sure things are done, and now there's a bunch of people who could be sure things, but we haven't seen them recently.
The form that she was in, she's it seems like she got a little burnt in the middle of the year, maybe some kind of injury, right?
3 straight major races, including like Morzine back to back to back. It was just a big workload.
Where she did incredibly well. She was on top of the Power 11
She
for
gave
a
it
while.
to everyone.
She was doing great. And then she had to kind of take a step back, which to me is encouraging. So I feel like that she is someone who's coming to this race to get on the podium, right? She's coming to potentially she's thinking she can win this thing, right? Then why wouldn't she? On the men's side,
this determines what's going to happen on the next few picks right here.
Real quick on Ulrike, she ended up in 2022. She was 6th place here, and she was 12th in 2021. So she has experience racing in Abu Dhabi as well.
And she's ascended in terms of her results and her fitness.
She is a better athlete in 2024 than she was those years.
3 months ago, she might be the favorite here.
Yeah,
4 months.
Top of the Power 11. Has would we say that the women's field is less deep than it was 2 years ago, the way that we'd say that about the men's field? In terms of like from 5 to like 15.
I think it's about the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly.
It does kind of seem like it's I feel that as well.
Like Ulrike wasn't really mentioned in the same realm that she was. Like we knew how good Alyssa was, but we didn't really see her outside of the Middle East. Now you've got people traveling all over the world, and yes, we absolutely lost Lindsay, but Nicole's back. We ended up losing Annie due to injury, but we've got, Ulrike and several others just kind of filling that gap right there. It's comparable.
Yeah, I agree. I know who I want to pick, but I really don't want to pick them.
Pull the guns out.
Do it.
Pull the guns out. You're living that life.
Wild card.
Give me Richard Hynek.
Richard Hynek. I knew it.
I also don't want you to do it because I wanted him. He's on fire right now.
Let me check his Instagram. This could be a Jack pulling.
No. Did you
Jack's
see
pulling something here?
Go look at his Instagram. You're gonna be really
it's not
happy.
To be trusted.
No, you're gonna be really happy, Rich. He ended up. I'll just save you the looking. He's going. He was already over in the Middle East doing a different race this past weekend, and he was leading until the final obstacle. He was ahead of several guys on this list who have not been picked so far, and then he missed 2 straight ones at the end of the race and had to do a penalty loop, but he was dominating that race in the sand. So
iron nunchucks. What?
Yep.
I was just not Spartan.
Has raced over here probably as much as any male in the field other than Sergey. He just looked really good in trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
He's ascending right now, and his top end is as good as anyone here.
Yeah. So Richard has raced in the Middle East in 2018, 2 different locations. 2019 he did in Oman, 2021 at Abu Dhabi World Championship, and 2022 in Oman. So he is absolutely, just like you said, Bracken, more familiar with running in this type of terrain. Only one of those races he missed the podium, which happened to be 2021 Abu Dhabi, where he got 25th in the beast. But a lot of people really struggled that year. But if we're looking at recent history, trifecta worlds, short course, this man is on fire at the moment.
The reason it's like, oh man, I've taken this guy because I've taken him in the past and he just doesn't show up. Jack just like, yeah, he's racing, and he's not. And
that happened to me.
And then Jack takes him and he doesn't race. Yeah. So I mean, in terms of on paper, I feel like this makes sense.
But when you get Hynek,
European Ryland,
the European Ryland
shows up when he's supposedly injured and crushes. He doesn't show up when he says he's going. Maybe. Always a podium threat.
That's true.
Maybe. I think so.
Hynek had like a bone spur or something on its heel removed in roughly April, and he's already back. Like it's crazy the recovery this man made.
We're confused because he looks like he's 45, but he's only like 28.
Right.
Not in person. He looks younger in person.
He's very young.
Yeah.
All right, Jack.
You made my life really difficult. I'd be foolish not to take the woman who won the beast distance on this terrain last year.
Nice.
She hasn't looked as good, but Esther Hotelbagiova, I've got to go with her.
You even left out the World Championship part because I was about to make fun of you for it.
I can't let you do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, Esther hasn't really looked her normal self, to be honest, this year. She got 7th place in the short course World Championship. She got 3rd at the European Championship and got dropped. But realistically, is that bad of a showing? 3rd place at European Champs. And like I said, she won this. She was 3rd place in the 3K and then ended up beating Lindsay with that ridiculous double sandbag mix-up that they had last year doing the women's or the men's weights for the women's race. So if there's a 9-minute carry again, I like her her ability on that. But yeah, she actually, now that I'm looking at this, she's won every single other race this year on the Spartan circuit. So a couple bad recent results, but still the old Esther.
Spartan Race World Championships is one of the only events where you can just trust the people who have done well in the past to always do well. How many years was Killian off during the season and then great at championships? Cody, Atkins. Like, it doesn't matter what they do, up or down, they're always there at the end. And Esther's going to be there.
That was my thought too, when between her and Ulrike, when I was just like, we just have not seen it in the big moments this year, where in the past we have seen it. Like when she's on, she's dominant. So I just have no idea. And I was like, maybe she's, like you said, maybe she's geared up. Or maybe she's just like, isn't that interested this year? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but
yeah,
she could also win, right? She could, if she's in the form that she was last year. I mean, she beat Lindsay.
I know, head to head, same conditions. And the thing that kind of gave me a little caution was that she skipped Trifecta Worlds, which is a race that she ended up winning in 2022 and 2023. No, Nicole ended up in 2023, and she raced it in 2019 also. So I was like, okay, this is kind of a staple on her calendar. And then after a couple rough races, her past two, by her standards, she decided not to race Trifecta World. So I was like, maybe there's some hidden injury that she's not mentioning, but she's on the start list. And, you know, if you win the same exact race last year, you got to get picked with the 5th woman.
Yeah. And the same is going to go for my pick, Sergey Perelagin. It's crazy that he is this far down, and it's only because we haven't seen him. And he's always slept on. I don't know what it is about him as an athlete.
Yeah.
He is the most slept on world champion in Spartan race history. And I don't think it's close.
It was the same thing between him and Hynek for me. I was like, I just have no idea. I just don't know. Like he will show up to events less than prepared and not finish where we project him to finish. Like he's not like an Atkins type where he shows up and he's amazing no matter what.
Except here.
except here.
Except here.
So but like it's close. He's not he could show up and be like, because it's like not traveling across the world.
I like that he was prepared to go to Trifecta World Championships. I don't think you would show up there without some fitness. It's too exposing of an event. And the only reason he didn't race it was allegedly, I mean, we don't know for sure, but it was a visa issue. So it wasn't like it was an injury or a cold feet thing. So we can only take people on what we've seen from them. And we haven't seen a lot of these people lately. But if he's Sergey at all, he's on the podium.
Yeah. So last year in Abu Dhabi, Sergey got 6th place. So he didn't look as good as he normally did. And he didn't even end up racing the beast.
Well, it was a 3K. You know, he's a grinder.
Yeah. Well, he has OCR World's 3K podium.
Won the super. Well, running fast in that on that sand.
True.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference in those three, as we all know.
For sure.
3 1,000 meter loops versus, I mean, it's just not even the same sport. So if he's at 90% of him, he's top 5 here.
The only question that I have for this event, I know that you mentioned the visa issues. Elisa and Sergey, husband and wife, you got the full team there, Bracken. Neither of them has done a Spartan race in 2024.
I think it's the least important brand to be sharp for.
No, what I'm saying is, how are they in this?
Qualification standards are set in Swiss cheese. Right.
They probably asked the organizers, like, wait, why? They were like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you be able to race?
Yeah.
All these things that you said
Yeah.
were whatever. Whatever. That was a year, right? That was it Killian made a stink about Albin being
Yep.
Mhm.
Didn't
being
race yet.
invited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he ran
Killing's
the
about his
course.
business.
Yeah.
He's
And
10
then
toes
Albin
down on everything.
Alvin ran the course like the day before or something, and he got mad
Out
about
there
that.
cheating.
Yeah.
And they called him out at the press conference. Spartan's so stupid, dude.
We're gonna DQ him.
Was that Watson?
No, that was Joe. He was like, I think this would make a good headline. Let's say we're gonna DQ him and then
Oh
change
my
our mind. It's
God,
like,
so
don't do that.
dumb. All right.
All right. I'm really torn on this. Really torn. There's just so many ways to go. And I'm following my own rule, which is going to get me in trouble since I've been terrible at fantasy OCR
Yep.
this year. But I'm going to go with people who've succeeded here in the past. Give me Yvonne Sue.
All right. All right.
She's had a breakout season.
Yeah, she's been around this year.
So
This was paralysis by analysis. There's so many people that have equal amounts of question marks for me. So it's Sue.
yeah. So Yvonne this year, Croatia, she actually ran the beast the day before doing the sprint. So maybe that gave her a little tired legs, but she was only 24th overall there.
Mhm.
So maybe her ability in and out of the water isn't that good. Guess what? That's not going to matter in a
That's
desert.
True that.
Yep.
Way longer too.
What was she
Yeah.
in the beast here last time?
Well, that's the thing. She's never raced
Or super.
Spartan World Champion. She's never raced in the Middle East. So
I thought she
you-
did.
No, you blew you just blew this pick.
Was
I'm
that
not
time-
playing it.
Who am I thinking of that was
It
top
doesn't
10?
matter. The pick is typed
No, it's in.
in.
I'm not changing it. Who am I thinking of that was like,
I think I know who you're thinking.
You're thinking of my next pick, but
go for it?
I'll tell you.
I'm not.
All right, Sandy. I'm going Sandy.
I think you're thinking of Sandy.
I
Yeah.
know Sandy Menchie.
She got third last year.
Did I just blow this?
I
Yes,
think
you
so.
did. Yeah. Thanks, Bracken.
This is- what
No,
was it?
Yvonne is very good. I'm
Yeah,
not
I know,
denying
but
that.
like,
She
why
got-
am I thinking she's been top 5 at Spartan World Championships?
Yvonne was
It was because
third.
you're thinking of Sandy.
Yeah. Yvonne was third place at the
It's my season.
Morzine. Moment of silence for Bracken right here.
Oh, I need Kirk.
That was a top. What
So
was it? What was it, Jack? When Bracken's like, from here on out, I'm going to take only people from the Middle East, and then he immediately
Yeah,
takes a woman from Spain.
Yeah,
Or something.
and he didn't steal the nationality. Yeah. Her name was like Maria, and he's like, "All right, totally Middle Eastern." And it's like, "Nope, not even close." Yeah, that was great, Bracken.
We're
Thank
glad
you.
you're here, Bracken.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
glad
you,
you're here.
you've been killing it. All right, so Sandy last year, we know what she did. 7th place in the
Do we?
3K, and third. Rich knows, you don't. 3rd place at the Beast in Abu Dhabi, which was by far the greatest on a world stage OCR performance by an athlete from the Asia Pacific region. Amazing. And this year, Sandy has raced 11 times Spartan race and won 10 of them. The only loss was at the Fiji APAC Regional Championship last weekend, which is pretty surprising that she had
Cooling
or-
off just in time.
Yeah, but I'm
Was
saying
it Yvonne that beat her or no?
yeah,
Probably
she was
not.
beat. She was beat by someone. Yeah, it wasn't Yvonne. She was beat by someone I've never even heard of. So that was pretty surprising. For Sandy to have that happen. Yvonne did not race in Fiji, but that's a lot of travel. You're going the wrong direction towards Abu Dhabi. You got to return back to the Philippines and then head over there. But if you're on the podium last year and you're still around in round 4, that's crazy.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
It was also the sprint. It was also the 3K or whatever.
No, it was in the Beast.
Oh, it was the Beast.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
NM. I don't really know either. I'm just doing that to make Bracken feel better.
Oh, that was great.
Right.
Bracken, this is like the culmination of your season. This is
Are you still in last place in real fantasy football?
No, man.
You're out of there?
I'm up to like 3rd now.
Have you seen the
You're in
spiral that
3rd?
Jarrett Newby's had?
3rd last. Come on.
Oh, okay. I was like, no,
I don't
you're
get to talk
not.
about action.
Oh, both of you guys are 5 and 7, but Rich has the points advantage.
Oh, I've been hurting. My team is not.
Same here. Yeah,
The Rashee Rice injury really hurt me. And Anthony Richardson pick was not a good one.
it's like
Not a good one.
yeah.
All right, I'm up. All right, so I'm gonna take Igor Bedeslov.
Very good pick.
If this was OCR Worlds, we'd be in trouble.
He's on the Power 11 right now.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's
He
7th or
beat-
something like that.
He beat Sergey in that Middle East race that Heineck went to. Also, I think he won that race.
Did he win that shit? Yeah. See.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
we never chatted about the results of this race?
yeah. Now you can. I wasn't gonna lead you guys into seeing the results, but Rich got the teams anyway.
So yeah, I mean, Igor's just been a staple in these championship races. Maybe not Spartan as much. What's his best Spartan finish? Does he do this race always?
Igor was 17th in 2021 for Spartan race. So he went from Abu Dhabi Beast, and then his next race that was in 2021. His next race was 3 years later, the San Jose Beast, very notorious. But he has done 4 races this year, doubled up in San Jose and doubled up in a different race, Santa Dominica in Croatia, not Hvar. And he's won all 4 of those races so far this year.
Nice.
And he was
Oh.
13th at 2019 Spartan Race World Championship in Tahoe. So that's actually, I forgot that he came over for that. Heineck
Yeah,
was
He
was
races well in the
14th.
States. Yeah, he races well in
Yeah.
the States. Now I don't know. Now
So I've got to say, I did my pre-race draft, like my rankings, and we've got 11 of the 12 names basically in order. So I think we're picking
Who's the 12th?
how I thought it would go. I didn't
Who strayed? Who strayed from the rankings?
we could probably guess.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with someone from North America, Brandon Neely.
Wow.
Second place at North American Championships
Absolutely.
and American Championships. Beat
Strong
Ryland.
right now.
Beat Ryland there.
No, you're not
Cook,
wrong.
We haven't seen him in this race setting, correct?
Correct.
Not in this one, no.
But I mean, he's obviously pushed his chips into OCR, continues to get better and better, and he's heading over there for a reason. I don't think he's thinking he's going to be outside of the top 5. I bet that has to be his goal going over there. And a lot of the remaining names, it could be up for grabs. It feels like to me.
What? So he beat Ryland in that race. Ryland's not lasting this long.
Right.
On paper,
sure.
makes sense. Take
In
out the
theory-
name, give him the resume, and it's like this is a solid pick.
If you can run swampy and wet, technical, you can run sand. It's not the same, but it's their sister skill sets.
Yeah, it's like going to be slower grind.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So Brendan this year, he got second place in that Seattle race for the regional championship. He had 2 national series wins in Canada, and then 2 other first places in regular races in Canada. So he's been
killing
on
it.
tear. Yep.
Smashing.
32 or so for his 10K. Guy's got wheels. His first ever race outside of Canadian soil was in Seattle this past September. So I don't know about the travel necessarily,
The
but
travel, the sand.
Be hot.
the
yeah,
heat.
that's yeah.
This
Most of
course
his
is,
races are not in hot desert sand environments, but he has the skill set to definitely hang with
Mhm.
people
Are they putting him up in those tents again?
with the fireworks and the dune buggies.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
not.
they're making the conditions as
locale.
hard as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. There's hotels that people can stay in.
Oh, I don't know that.
Well, Faye Stenning did because she's like, I'm not doing that stuff.
Smart. Only smart one.
Yep.
Like, yeah, we got your accommodations. We'll be like
Nah.
sleeping in the sand.
Yeah. No, Brendan honestly I think he's going to have a fantastic. He already had his breakout race, but this is really going to give a little bit of national exposure for Europeans who might not know how good he is.
Nice. Jack,
All
you
right.
up.
Oh, this is such a tough pick.
Gotta go with the dudes.
I know. I'm torn, but I think I'm going to have to go with the guy who won OCR Worlds and was leading the 3K at a stupid, blistering fast pace last year.
Anybody could have been better. Anyone could have done that.
I know. Regardless, he's got the skill set and the aggressiveness to be up front. It's just, can he hang on?
You just like to say, "Hey yo, Henny,
You like it also. It's not a lie.
I like
good
it.
for the
So
accent.
Yeah, seventh in the 3K last year, 18th in the Beast after starting off in much better than 18th place. But yeah, this year obviously we saw what he did in OCR Worlds. Just he's got the endurance to stretch it out. This is not at altitude, but yeah, he's had success in Beast distances plenty of times in National Series races in Mexico, and yeah, he's familiar with this terrain in Abu Dhabi from last year, so got a good resume.
I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
If we go off when we saw him last, he is in monster shape and
Yeah.
he's dangerous. But I am going to go with an old dog who just won't go away. Angel Quintero.
These are chalk. You two just taking your old favorites.
I'm just drafting off of the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
Look
You
good
got-
to start out trifecta.
That's
The
true.
man can run in sand.
Did you see what he's done since Trifecta Worlds?
Of course.
Oh,
But I'm
you
gonna
actually,
let you tell the world.
I was gonna say he's been Rich. You know about this?
I don't think so.
He's had a top secret training partner. He didn't go back to Mexico. He actually traveled east from Greece. He's been training with Borat. He's been up in Kazakhstan for the past like 3-4 weeks, getting in that training for World Championship.
Nice.
Not what I'd expect, or where I'd expect someone to go realistically to prep for Abu Dhabi. All of his videos, it's got like snow, and it doesn't seem like the same terrain, but pretty cool location, I guess, for a few weeks.
I'm gonna
Is
repeat
that-
myself, but different. If you can run in snow, you can run in sand.
That's it. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Is that altitude? I'm guessing then if there's snow.
I don't know.
This is high level intel.
I don't know nothing. Yeah. All right. BK, another one?
I
Gotta
must
lady?
take a female, I believe.
Yep.
Oh, I'm very torn. But I'm going to go with Eloise Godinez Romero.
All right.
Because Jack loves saying her name.
They've got cool names.
I feel like we're at that stage of the draft where
We're just firing off.
there's like 5 or 6 women here who I don't know how much they've gone in on this.
All right.
Could be a top 7 person, could not be. More names is better than less names, just like
Yeah.
Super Shoes.
So Eloisa has never raced outside of Mexico, but dating back to the end of in October 2022. So basically the past 2 years, she has had 8 races. She has 5 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. And most of those are national series in Mexico. And we saw what she did in Puebla. She got 7th against the top American names where you had Lindsay, Chris, Annie. So those athletes are removed. I think she's gonna, move up the leaderboard accordingly. So solid pick.
Nice job, dude. Jack, you're up.
All right. I have to pick a guy, it's looking like. I'm going Peter Chaniga. Guy is Mr. Reliable, realistically. He in the past, he didn't have the best trifecta worlds. He got 6th, 12th, and 12th for those races. But if we're looking at how he's done, because he's raced in Abu Dhabi before, last year he was 4th. The year before that he was 5th, and then 13th in 2021. So guy knows how to run on this type of terrain.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm up.
Yep.
Give me Viola.
Not even with the wild card pick.
No way. With she's just gonna go out there and show. She's like not even in that good shape. We just saw her in Hong Kong. She's traveling all over the place. She's just gonna
Maybe this is why.
She's locked in on sand running. That she's just gonna go show how the fitness supremacy that hybrid athletes have over OCR athletes.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm actually not sure. How did she do at this race when she did in the past? She was in the teams.
2022, she finished 13th overall.
It's not bad.
No, Sandy was 10th and Oriki was 6th. Like she was about
That was a super,
7
though?
minutes behind Sandy.
That was the super?
That was a super year. Yeah.
Ugh, I can't imagine training for HYROX and doing a beast on sand.
She
No
ran
thanks.
the Morzine Beast for this is very strange. In the Morzine Beast this year, which wasn't even a national series, just a local race, she ended up running in the age group division, 30 to 34. That's really it was competitive.
She set a world record?
So they dropped her there. Yeah.
Oh.
She got second place in that category. So yep.
Make a YouTube video.
No,
about
if you're going straight fitness, why not take a risk with her?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that she's here for her HYROX season, but probably won't be drafted in HYROX because
maybe it's easy. Like
that's
it's on the way back from Hong Kong. It's like, might as well break up the trip.
Drop over. All right, wild card. There's still a lot of good. There's like good dudes on here.
There
There's
are
a world
good
champion
names
on here.
I think that's what I'm going with. Leon Kofood.
Yeah.
Give me him. We don't know. He's gotten much better at the longer distance events over the past 2 or 3 years. Put a major emphasis on it. He won the world championship in what distance? 3K?
No, it was the 15K. Oh,
And
well, this year also the 3K. Yeah, you're right. He got his podium in the 15K.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. So hopefully he's been running the way he has been, but he's been much improved for those longer duration pieces that have a lot of running. He's been here before, right?
4th place last year in the 3K, and then 38th place in 2021 when he and Ian Hosick basically just walked the course.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So average that out.
This is a great wild card pick. This is what it's meant for.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Almost what it's meant for.
Yeah.
He's actually going. He's signed up.
BK's got one
physically there.
Loaded here. Another Chris Rogloski pick coming.
Yep. All right.
I mean, Ryland wouldn't be a bad pick.
Ryland's not a bad pick. Yeah. If he was in Hong Kong, he pops on that flight with Viola.
I know. Yeah. All right.
BK is going to do it. You should do it, BK.
I got something else waiting in the chamber.
Jack, we got
for your wild card?
I already know who Jack's taking.
Are you sure?
No.
All right.
But I have one female and one male guess.
Okay. Well, she got second place at all 3 events in Trifecta World, Sabrina Daolio. I gotta go with her. Only other race was 2019, a super in South Africa for Spartan race. So it had been a while, but she has done pretty well at European Championship for OCR. And honestly, if you're within so she was 1.1% slower in the sprint than Nicole, 3.4 in the super, and 0.5% in the beast. So she's within 5% of Nicole on day 3 after all that without much Spartan experience. She's going to be good.
So that was going to be my pick. I think she's the highest rated person that's or at least in my mind, that's also recently shown their fitness. But I'm going wild card here. I'm not going with the other person I thought Jack would take, which is David Labros. I am going with high-end boomer bust Ismail Razali.
Yeah, you never know what to expect with athletes from the Middle East on this. Sometimes they can get 5th, and then other times it's like, what happened?
Was it the super year someone really popped? Was there
Yeah, who was that guy?
Ismail has been out near the front before here.
Yeah, he was 17th last year in the Beast. And yeah, he was 43rd the year before that. But he's hung with guys like Sergey before at random races. So
you heard it from Jack. He's hung like Sergey.
Yeah.
It's weird intel, Jack.
Yeah. He's hung with.
That's what you get with those tense situations over there. You were
I'm not
dwelling in.
All right, let's do a recap. Rich, who's your team?
My team is Nicole Miracle, Ricky Evanson, Richard Hynek, Igor Belousov, Brendan Neely, Viola Oberlander, and Leon Kofood.
It's a good team.
I like it.
I've got Gregory Basilico, Susanna Kotsamova, Esther Hotobagiova, Sandy Menchi-Abahan, Eugenio Godinez Romero, Peter Cheniga, and Sabrina Daolio.
Haka, Lisa Petrova, Sergey Pereligan, Ivan Su, Angel Quintero, Eloisa Godinez Romero, and Ishmael Razali. What I like about this is we all have 4 we can trust.
Mhm.
In theory. We all need one to do something for us.
Like round
Assuming that
5,
our
6, 7
top
are the wild
4
cards. Yeah.
all handle their business, which is very unlikely at this stage. So this is
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly how it kind of approaches. It's like, all right, I got 4. Let's just hope a 5 can
Yep.
really like
I like that
come
Brendan pick.
through. We're hoping.
Yeah, and the thing that you were talking about, blow ups bracket, only top 3 get paid. So this is very like some athletes are just going to go for it because 4th doesn't really matter. Previous years, top 10 might have got paid, but not here.
Nice. All right, so we will see if we can watch this somewhere.
Yeah.
Watch along.
Hit a little watch along. You want to do it?
If it's a Friday night, I can watch
Yeah,
along.
I could be convinced.
We'll see.
Speaking of partying, I had a pickled egg for the first time.
Was
You
it
guys ever had
purple?
that?
Audrey is obsessed with like pickled. I hate the flavor, like vinegar. I just don't like it.
Very
But-
vinegary.
Ugh.
I like vinegar flavor. I like pickled stuff. You don't like it?
It was fine, but the vinegar was so overwhelming. I just
Mhm.
couldn't. But I could
like-
see it being like a Friday night late kind of thing during a watch along.
like
Setting
that.
out.
That'll get you going. Yeah.
Some deviled eggs. Are they purple?
Just looks like a hard boiled egg.
Oh, it wasn't purple? For some reason, I
Not
thought
mine.
the purple.
So we went out to Ure and they have this place that has like a bunch of just different pickled whatever and salsa and a bunch of like homemade local type stuff. And she got pickled okra and that's a huge hit. Pickled onions as well. So
Pickled okra, yeah, that's like not too far from a regular old pickle, right?
yeah.
Well, see, I don't
honestly,
like
yeah.
pickles.
Yeah, I
know,
do
oh,
not like
then-
pickles.
So you don't like any. It's like if you don't like this, the pickle, you're not going to like anything else pickled. I don't think.
Well, I didn't know
It's
if
like
it was pickles or pickled in general, so I wanted to expand my horizons, Rich.
all right. Now you know any process of pickling, you're out.
I had some pickled sausage as well to try to round out my experience, and that was just like really bad.
This should not happen.
pickled meat.
So anyway, during our watch along, I won't be having any pickled eggs,
Good to
but
know.
I'm okay if you do.
We'll have Thanksgiving leftovers. Hope everyone enjoys their holiday here in the United States. Eat a lot of food. Turkey trots.
This is my yearly reminder that I'm not healthy enough to run for 10K straight, and it's depressing.
Rich is
I'm just
absolutely
going
dying.
through it.
I'm
Choking on those
man.
pickles. Yep.
2 weeks of racing at like 8 p.m., getting done, not being able to sleep. Just like I'm going through it.
How
Is
sore
it-
were you after like on Friday, like right before the race? Because I would say Wednesday afternoon, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better, but it took like good 4 or 5 days after HYROX.
I was really sore last week. I'm not
Yeah.
very sore now.
Yeah.
But I'm sick. I was a little sick on race day too. I had some snot coming out on sled pull.
Mhm.
Less than ideal. Not what you want.
When you say you can't sleep afterwards, is that just competition or
High
late
heart rate, probably.
stimulant in the day?
In Chicago, I did not take any caffeine before the race. I did take caffeine before Dallas. It's just like you're up, man. It's like my body's just like
Mhm.
not settled down.
It's
It's
hard
like
to come down, restless
very
legs a little.
stimulating. Yeah,
It takes
I'm,
like-
I'm not.
It takes
Gotta
like
eat.
4 hours for your heart rate to get back to that, like, 50s.
I've been like hot. Yeah, and then I did have to
Yeah.
eat, and then I like
Body
lay
temperature
down, and
up.
like everything was just like really spinning. So
Yeah.
Everything, you're right. It's a temperature thing. Like you're too revved up inside still.
Yep.
yeah, that's what happened.
Heat load.
All right,
All
fam.
right.
Great job,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Talk to you soon.